There comes a moment in life, often quietly, when our old maps stop working. For many of us, that moment arrives somewhere in midlife or beyond, after the children are grown, after the career plateaus or ends. Something just feels, well, unfinished. In a culture that worships youth, we aren't given much guidance for this time of life. We've certainly been taught how to get ahead, but there's very little out there about how to age with intention, how to live these later chapters of life, how to grow wiser, not just older. So the real question becomes, what is this time of life actually for? For centuries, elders held an honored role in society. They were the storytellers, the wisdom keepers, the ones who helped communities remember what matters. But in modern culture, that role has quietly faded. Instead, we've learned to measure human value by productivity and economic output. But at some point, when that begins to shift, we're told, sometimes subtly and sometimes directly, we're told to step aside. When this happens to us, we ask, wait, this can't be the whole story, can it? Because human beings don't outgrow the need for purpose or meaning or contribution. If anything, these needs become stronger as we age. And here's the question you may be quietly wrestling with. What if aging isn't asking us to avoid change, but to relate to it differently? That's where the Conscious Aging series comes in. Conscious aging is not about positive thinking or pretending aging is easy. We all know that aging brings real challenges, like changes in the body, changes in identity, losses that touch our relationships and challenge our sense of self. But aging is also a very powerful opportunity to examine the stories we've been living by all these years, to heal what's unresolved, to release what no longer fits. Ron Pevney, one of the pioneers of the conscious aging movement, makes a clear distinction between getting old and becoming an elder. One is something that just happens to us. The other is something we claim. Conscious aging requires us to ask questions our culture rarely encourages, like, what if wisdom doesn't come from life experiences themselves, but from deliberately reflecting on them? And what if this stage of life isn't about winding down, but about going deeper? At its heart, conscious aging is about awareness. Awareness of our inner world, of our emotional patterns, of our own beliefs about aging, our relationship to change, loss, and mortality. And when awareness increases, we become less governed by fear and regret. This allows us to respond more intentionally, and then we automatically suffer less. And over time, it's those inner shifts that allow people to age with greater ease, compassion, and even joy. Across the Conscious Aging series, we'll explore themes like self-transcendence, forgiveness, self-compassion, and mortality, not as abstract ideas, but as lived experience. So if you've ever felt that quiet nudge, that sense that this season of life is asking something different from you, then you're in the right place. This is an exploration, an invitation to have a conversation we don't have often enough. Welcome to the Conscious Aging series.